Hello, philatelic friends. You know, like a lot of stamp collectors, I have hobbies outside of stamp collecting. I like to make arts and crafts. I enjoy roller skating. And of course, I love games. And like a lot of stamp collectors, I also like to collect my hobbies on stamps. But another thing I like to collect are stamps on my hobbies. In this video, I'm going to showcase a few tabletop games that have philatelic elements. And I'm going to start with these cards. These cards were made by the Greenleaf Steel Rule Die Corporation of New York sometime in the 1990s. They actually made a whole bunch of different cards featuring different stamp designs, all licensed by the USPS. The cards all contain an actual jigsaw puzzle, contained within the card by a thin plastic layer that's been sealed around the edges. These cards were actually meant to be sent through the mail. Obviously, it had to take a first-class postage stamp because it's a little too bulky for the postcard rate, but they were meant to be mailed and shared with people. Unfortunately, because of the adhesive, removing the plastic seal without damaging the card is almost impossible. But if you're brave enough and you really want to play a jigsaw puzzle, you can.
As far as jigsaw puzzles go, this one's pretty standard. It's made of die-cut cardboard, and there's not too many pieces, which makes sense because it has to fit the size of a standard postcard. It's not much of a challenge, but the images are really pretty, so it makes a nice addition to your collection, especially if you have the stamp it's based on to display with it.
The next game I'm going to show is this board game, Stampin, the lively game of stamp acquisition. This game was made by Rainy Day Games in 1989 and is another game that's officially licensed by the USPS. Now, this is a board game that's actually about stamp collecting. It kind of plays like a cross between Go Fish and a very simplified Monopoly.
So let's check out what comes with Stampin. The game is packaged with this Introduction to Stamp Collecting guide. It kind of serves as a beginner's look at stamp collecting in case this game inspires you to collect some of the stamps. The board has a round continuous path, which kind of reminds me of another game about art collecting called Masterpiece. The spaces that you land on determine your actions, whether that's earning money or buying stamps. The cards all have images of stamps on them, and each one is labeled based on their topic. The goal of the game is to collect 4 cards of the same topic. It is really neat to look at these cards and try to collect the stamps that they're based on.
Now, I play board games with my family almost every Friday night, and I took Stampin' and we played it. The general consensus is that it's fine. It's no one's favorite board game, but it's not bad. We all appreciated that it's pretty quick and easy to play, so it makes a pretty good in-between game if you're waiting for more players or cooling down after a longer board game. But let's see what the reviews on BoardGameGeek.com say about Stampin'. Really nice stamp art. Pretty boring game. Nice attempt for the UPS to try and get people into stamp collecting. An attempt at making the mail seem fun. I actually need to play this one. It's a neat theme if you're a stamp collector, but the design is rather awful. I can't really disagree. The board is pretty bland. This is a weird kind of mix between Rummy and Memory as a board game. As a bonus, you get these cool cards with old stamps printed on them, real big and colorful like. Basic old board game, I like it. Besides playing games about stamps, you can also play games with stamps. The most popular play-by-mail game, of course, is chess. Correspondence chess dates back to at least the early 1800s, but it really became popular in the 1900s. Players could use pre-printed cards like this to mark down their moves and mark their board before sending it in the mail to their competitor. Of course, chess was in the public domain long before cards like this were published, but the first commercially produced play-by-mail game was Diplomacy in 1959. Diplomacy is a strategy game that requires a game master. Players write down their moves, mail them to the game master who calculates the results of the round and mails those results back to the players. Since the creation of the internet, play-by-mail games have been on the decline, but I was really excited to talk to Andrew, who's making a new play-by-mail game called Warscript.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you connect with other players of the game? Do you have to start with somebody, an opponent in mind, or do you set up all of the system?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to be the game master of the whole thing. Laser Wolf Games will be. So what we're essentially going to be doing is matching players head-on-head, one-on-one, in a battle for a planet. And they're going to be getting the stickers that we send, and they'll be removable from a postcard. So we'll send them a double-sided postcard. They'll pull the stickers off. They'll put their little stickers on the plane. Okay, I'll put the tank here and the spaceship here and whatnot. And then they detach the other half of the double postcard and send us back where they put that. Like they'll say, I put the tank in A4, I put the spaceship in D3. We process it all. We do all the calculations. Okay, this shoots here, that shoots that. Then we send them back another postcard with all the stuff that happened. We say, okay, this shot that. They're going to update it on their little postcard that they keep, and then send it back. And then once they're done with that little 1v1 battle over that individual planet, they get to keep that little planet card with all the proof of that they captured it. And then we assign them somewhere else in the world to fight over another planet. And as they go on conquering, they build their, quote-unquote empire.
I saw that you are making Warscript stamps.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about those?
Okay, so that started from, I love doing this, and I really wanted to do it for free, but, it just wasn't adding up, so I thought, okay, if I want to do this, and hopefully I want to become successful, and I'm going to need to charge a little money. So I was looking into that. I was looking into doing just barely enough to pay for the cost of everything and whatnot. So I had this brilliant idea of when I was looking at my stamp collection, of thinking, wait, the post office has us buy these insignificant pieces of paper, we slap them on an envelope, and that's how we paid to send a letter. So I thought, why don't we just sell our own version of stamps that pay for your game turn, and then they're at their discretion to play as much as they want. Every time it comes, they can do it, or they can just buy the stamps when they want to and affix them when they want to, and we get to throw cool artwork onto them.
I'm really excited to start playing this game and building my collection of conquered planets. Role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons can also be played by mail. The mail is an excellent medium for collaborative storytelling and creativity games. One of these world-building games that I like in particular is called Forever Decks. It's free to download, and I highly recommend you check it out.
Forever Decks is inspired by Pokemon and other monster collecting games from the turn of the millennium. It uses zip codes to provide you with prompts to design your own monster. From this letter, I received the zip code 54880, which prompts me to draw a creature whose type is metal, aesthetic is mechanical, is very cute, weak to paranoia, and has a friendly disposition. Using this prompt, I can imagine a creature like this. When you finish with your monster, you can mail the sheet with its remaining spaces to someone else, who can then use your zip code to make a new monster.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love mixing my interests and hobbies together. and I hope that you find fun in it too. Let me know in the comments if there are any other philatelic-themed games you know of that you'd like me to check out, or if there are any other philatelic topics you'd like me to cover.
I'll post links to more information about the games I've covered here in the video description. Please check them out if the games seem interesting to you. Special thanks to my super skilled friend Al for this artwork I used in the video. I'll link to his portfolio. And thanks to Andrew from Laser Wolf Games for the interview. Please go check out Warscript. I make these videos whenever I have time, so if you enjoy them, please subscribe so you'll know whenever I upload a new one. Until next time, stay well and keep enjoying stamp collecting.